everyone. This is Kathy from House of Toefl, and today we're going to go over some tips for advanced speakers. I'm going to go over 6 tips to maximize your speaking score for the speaking prompt number 1. Now, I want to emphasize that this is for more advanced speakers. Therefore, I will be speaking at a faster pace. So, if you're not ready yet for someone speaking at a native speaker pace and going over some complex ideas, don't worry, just go back and watch some of my other videos for Speaking Question 1. I have many videos for Speaking Question 1, so that's okay if you're not ready. But if you are ready and want to watch this video, please be prepared for me to be speaking at a faster pace than I normally would. So with that in mind, let's go over Speaking Question number 1, Advanced Lesson. So the first thing I want to do is talk to you about the types of questions to expect for task number 1. So one type is the agree-disagree prompt. Now this is by far the most common for question 1. They will give you a prompt, and I have to warn you, they are getting pretty long and complex. So I want to take a look at one that is actually quite a bit longer than they used to be. So let's have a look at my example. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? You should accept your friends the way they are, even if you disagree with them about important topics. So as you can see, it's a pretty long prompt, and this is becoming more common. The other type is the personal preference question, and this will ask you to choose between 2 possible courses of action. It will ask you which you prefer, or which you think is a good idea, or which you believe, and so forth. So let's look at this example. Some students think it is a good idea to choose their future career before they enter university. Others prefer to take a few classes before they choose their career. Which point of view do you agree with? Now, as you can see, it's a pretty long prompt. The third one is less common. About 20% of prompts are this type. This is what I call the good idea prompt. Now, this will give you a situation and then ask you if you think this is a good idea. For example, to solve the problem of air pollution, your city has decided to implement a free bus service. Do you think this is a good idea? Okay, now on to the important stuff for today's lesson. Today I want to talk to you about 6 tips that you can implement to maximize your score, to really make sure you get that higher score, especially for those of you that need above 26. Now, my first tip is to paraphrase the prompt in a shorter way. So to get a better score, try not to repeat the exact same words you heard in the prompt. This will give you 2 benefits. First, you'll have more time for your own content, which is really where you get your score. And it will also show your paraphrasing skills. So there's 2 advantages to this. Here's a quick example. Let's say the prompt is, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? The government should open up schools for children with special talents such as musical or artistic abilities. You can start your answer with, I agree that the government should open schools for talented children for several reasons. Now, as you can see, that's a much shorter, faster way of stating the prompt. I'm not repeating it, I'm putting it into my own words in a shorter way so I can get to my original ideas faster and I can show my paraphrasing skills. Okay, number 2. Tip number 2 is to make your vocabulary on the TOEFL more sophisticated than you would in a casual conversation. So avoid using very, very simple words. So a way to improve your score is to change these words out for more advanced vocabulary words in order to improve your score. But, a word of warning, make sure you are comfortable with the words that you are going to use before you use them. For example, let's say you use the word nice a lot to describe people. Well, there's other words you can use to describe people. You can say someone is amiable, they're affable, they're kind-hearted, they're agreeable, or they are likable. These are all superior to the word nice. Let's say you want to say you had a fun time. You could switch fun with enjoyable, entertaining, amazing. Let's say something was good. You had a good experience or a good job. You can change the word good for positive, rewarding, wonderful, amazing. Let's say the word bad. You had a bad experience. You could say it was a negative experience. It was disappointing. It was atrocious. All these words are more TOEFL level words. So you can also do this in writing, by the way. This will improve your writing score as well as your speaking score. Next, use a variety of transitions. So try to avoid repetition. Repetition can actually decrease your score. So to add information, make sure you use different words. So if you use additionally, when you're going to add more, change it to in addition or what's more, or furthermore, moreover, not only but also. To give an example, take the case of. So take the case of my sister as an example of this. To illustrate this, consider. To illustrate this, consider a study that was done at Harvard University. Now, I want to say for instance and for example are absolutely fine, and you can still use those and get a very good score. To show cause and effect, you can use these kinds of expressions. As a result, accordingly, thus, therefore, since, and because of this. Okay, let's move to the next tip. In your speaking, give a lot of details and be specific. Provide detailed information to support your argument, not just general statements. You can use a personal example, or you can support your argument with information that supports your position that is not necessarily a personal example, but yet supports your position. Okay, so for example, don't just say, I would rather choose my career before I enter university because it will save money and this will be good for my future. That's very general. Listen to how much better this is, how much more specific this is. You could say, I would rather choose my career before I enter university because in the long run, I will save a great deal of money. Since university costs $20,000 a year where I live, I could potentially save up to $100,000, which I can use to buy a house. So obviously this is a much more solid argument and will get a better score. The more specific you are, the better. Use a blend of simple and complex sentences. So some of your sentences should be simple and some should be longer. You will get a better score if you vary your answer, some long and some short. Let's take a look at this example. I think you should accept your friends the way they are, even if you may disagree with them, for several reasons. First of all, everyone has different opinions. My friend Jennifer and I are a great example of this. She strongly supports the government in our country and thinks they are doing a terrific job, while I feel that our government is atrocious and has made a great deal of serious mistakes with our economy and resources. However, we love and support each other despite our differences. Notice how some of these sentences are very long and some are very short. Again, this tip also applies to the writing section, so you will also get a better writing score if you vary your sentences. And finally, use a more sophisticated conclusion. Instead of just saying quickly at the end, that's why I feel this way. Try something a little bit better. Try this. For the aforementioned reasons I feel that this is a good idea. That's why it's my firm belief. For these reasons I strongly believe. Therefore, I truly believe that. Okay, thank you for joining me for this short video with some tips about the speaking section for question 1. Again, I'm Kathy from House of TOEFL, and if you'd like to visit my website, it's www.houseoftoefl.com. There you'll find my blog and all my videos and many more resources, and you can also book lessons with me there. And in the meantime, as always, good luck with your test.